Ironman tip of the week. This week we're going to talk about breathing in the water. Seems like it should be easy enough to do. We all have probably grown up swimming, playing in the pool as you know as a kids, and even maybe as adults. Maybe you swam some. I did not. I was no swimmer. And after all these years of training for Ironman and training for triathlon, I'm still no swimmer. I don't at all consider myself a swimmer by any stretch. It would be an insult to swimmers. But I have learned how to move from one end of the pool to the other in a workmanlike fashion. So I'm gonna give you some tips, suggestions that I've learned over the years. We've probably already talked a little bit about the swim, but I wanted to talk specifically about breathing technique. If I haven't learned anything, I've learned that you absolutely have to learn to breathe, or you cannot swim, not effectively. And so I think oftentimes the folks get in and start their stroke, and they've not really considered breathing and the importance of breathing. Just didn't cross their mind, and they panic, or they are choked out at 25 meters or halfway down the length, which is my experience when I started. On land, we breathe whenever we want. Bike and the run, it's a non-issue. We work on our foot strike or our body position or this or that. We don't have to worry about breathing. We just take it for granted, but for a lot of the first timers in the pool or in the water, breathing is absolutely should be the key issue to learn. And so if you're having a tough time in the water, whether it's pool or open water swimming or whatever, I just suggest that you push everything aside, all the other rules you have to learn about the kick and the stroke and the catch and the pull and all of that stuff. Get back to the basics, and by that I mean learn how to breathe. Once you get comfortable breathing, you relax, everything else falls into place, then you can start working on your stroke and on your kick. But if you cannot breathe, if you're in a kind of a constant state of panic for lack of breath, you'll never get to the next square. Okay, so here are a few tips, suggestions on working on your breathing. So I'm going to show you. I'm not going to put up any videos. I'm just going to show you right here if I can. Neutral head position. Okay, so when you're in the water, you want that water. You want your head down, but you don't really need it to be staring straight down. Okay, it almost gets a little cockeyed when you do that. So I think a neutral position is maybe 30 degrees, where the water hits about where my hairline used to be. Okay, and so you're not looking up, you're not looking out, but you're not looking straight down with your chin totally tucked. You're at about 30 degree collar. Okay, so that water's hitting your hairline. All right, and then when you go to take a breath, you need to make sure you rotate your body a good 45 degrees. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. I'm leaving the mic. Rotate your body 45 degrees. Allows your head to open up, everything to open up, and then when you turn sideways to catch that breath, it's much easier. If you don't turn your body, and you're flat, and you really got to crank your head around, it's just not natural. Okay, get that body to turn, especially in open water. Really exaggerate that body turn. Rotate that body. Then when you're taking the breath, be sure that your head stays parallel to the water. Okay, don't raise your head up like this to take that breath. If you do that, your body drops in the water, you slow down, come to a stop sometimes. Everything goes wrong when you do that. So when you're opened up, your body's opened up and your head's up, keep that head parallel to the water, okay? So that half of your head is out. This goggle lens ought to be in the water, and your nose and your mouth, and then you create, in swimming, you create a little pocket here. Your head is parallel to the water. You take that breath, no big deal, okay? Next, keep your arm fully extended. Let that reach as you take that stroke to breathe. Okay, you rotate your body, you stretch, keep that arm out there. Take that breath before you start your catch. Okay, it allows you to get that full breath of air. Okay, if you tend to push down to help raise your upper body to get your head out, then you're doing something wrong. That's what I tend to do when I get fatigued. You want to glide, rotate, head parallel, and get that full breath before you take that catch, okay? And then the most important thing, at least for me, in the whole process is to exhale fully. Be sure you breathe out fully before you get to that breath spot where you're about to inhale. If you don't, you have no volume to breathe in, and it's a law of diminishing returns. Every time you do that, you lose that much more good, clean air with oxygen that your body can process, and so you end up just totally out of breath. So you want to learn to, after you take that breath and you start to stroke, you want to start breathing out right then. That's what I do. And you want to blow bubbles. I do a little rhythm, and I hum when I breathe out. I don't know exactly what's happening. I haven't paid that much attention, but I hum. I don't know if it's my lips or my vocal cords that make that noise, but I use it as a rhythm to kind of monitor my exhale, so that when it comes time to exhale or inhale, take a breath, I am fully exhaled. It's so important, guys, to exhale fully. Can't emphasize that enough. If you get that done, you're going to breathe in, trust me. And when you do, you'll have a full breath of lungs full of good, fresh air. Critical. Last thing would be bilateral breathing. That's breathing alternate sides every third stroke. It's really good to learn. My favorite side is my right side, but I have learned to breathe my left side. In open water, there are times when you've got currents, you've got waves that just require you to breathe on the other side. And if you're not somewhat familiar with that, could be a real lousy swim. So learn to bilateral breathe. Now, not so much for the race day. I breathe to the right every 2 strokes, and very happy with that, because that's where I'm comfortable, and I want to be able to breathe as much as I'm able to, and so that's my suggestion. Learn how to bilateral breathe. You don't feel like it's necessary during race day. Okay, so that's it. A lot of techniques out there, and tips for proper breathing. I am not a swimmer. I am no expert on the subject. Those are just a few tips that I have learned over the literally hundreds of thousands of yards of swimming over the course of a few years of training. So if I can learn how to breathe, anybody can. Okay, that's my tip of the week. Hope it helped.